hi everyone, I'm Adam Neely after a 5-week bender on nothing but Percocet, and I am out in front of the world's most musical car wash in America. The sky is f***ing gorgeous, so I'll give you a picture of that really quick. Now I know this will come as a shock to all of you. I have a number of friends in the music industry, and I get asked, well, what did you do? What are the things that you did to accomplish your goals and push yourself forward? And it seems like partway through they kind of stop because it's not the answer that they're comfortable with doing or the answer that they expected. Obviously, the thing you want to do is listen to the people who have accomplished the goals that you're looking to accomplish and see what they did. You don't necessarily have to do exactly what they did, but, finding out their insights probably super helpful to you. So to be super helpful to all of you, here are 7 things that musicians and especially guitar players are doing wrong that they need to change. You were born with certain proclivities, and your life is lived to accentuate those in a manner in which you chose to live your life. You are who you are. Do not try to be someone else. It is extremely easy, especially in the music and entertainment world, to look at people who you consider successful and be like, man, they're so much better than me at this thing, I'll never be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to play like Steve Vai or John Petrucci. Ever. It's just not in the cards for me. I don't have that level of technical facility, and I don't feel like I'm ever going to put in enough time and effort to even get close to it. So what do? I play to my strengths. What is it that I do really well? What is it that I can offer to other people that they actually enjoy, that's actually a net positive on the world? In your instance, are you a better writer or are you a better technical player? If you're a better writer, focus more on writing. If you're a better technical player, focus more on technique. You should be working both of those muscles for sure. They're both important. But which one is the role in music that you are supposed to be doing? What are you made for? Once you have a grip of what your strengths are and what your specific role in the industry can be, that's when you start having to make your plan around that. It gives you an aim to shoot for. You're ashamed of telling people you're good because you don't actually believe it yourself. In some cases, that might be very true, but you're never going to get anywhere in this industry unless you promote yourself. No one is going to be your hero. No one's going to be your team player. You have to have a healthy amount of honesty with your skill level and where you are in the market and in the industry. When promoting yourself, authenticity is key. It is numero uno. So if you need improvement, if you're not ready for the big time, go ahead and dig deep and keep working at it. You will get there. But no one got anywhere by feeling guilty about telling people that they're talented or by being afraid of negative feedback. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be vulnerable. I and many people that I know still struggle with this to this day. This is not something that just clears itself up instantly. At the end of the day, if you want to feel better about promoting yourself, don't think about it as this is me stroking my ego and showing people how great I am for the sake of my ego. This is me letting people know how I am going to help them make their lives better. Make it an offering instead of a taking. And fair warning, do not fall into the ego trap. Attention is an extremely infectious and addictive thing. Same with status. You need to consider what other people want to see and want to hear. That's the only way you're going to be able to promote yourself correctly and effectively. Whatever you're doing, you need to get people's attention, and 90% of the time, that means it needs to be eye-catching. What about a social media post makes you stop scrolling? What about that social media post makes you actually interact with it? Whether that's give a reaction, watch the video, turn the sound on, whatever. Any videos or posts that you get a great reaction to, study it. What made you enjoy it? And lastly, you have to assume that no one gives a single fuck about you or your talents at all. What are you going to do to make a complete stranger interested in the content you're providing? You're letting life pass you without making your own opportunities. That means you need to move your ass to where you can make some, aka go to where the music is. If that means you need to change cities, move your ass on out, man. Get out of there. Sometimes that means even changing countries. A lot more difficult to do, especially in the day and age of COVID. Included in that is getting to where musicians are, which means going to shows, going to shops. But again, it is the age of COVID. I understand you're not going to be able to do that tomorrow, but this is not the rest of our lives. you will have time eventually to go to shows and meet new musicians. Or hang out where they hang out online. Live streams, chat rooms, Reddits. I don't know, do people even do chat rooms anymore? I'm old. I'm willing to bet a lot of money you're treating music like your hobby and not your job. You gotta treat music like it's your job. I didn't say profession, I said your job. Profession means you're getting paid for it. If you treat it like it's your job, you're not necessarily getting paid for it, but you're taking it seriously. This comes down to all being about attitude, plain and simple. You have to treat it like it matters, like it's gonna matter to other people whether or not you fail. That means setting aside practice time every single day on your instrument, or if you're a writer, writing a song every day. That means setting goals for yourself for achievements and making sure you hold yourself accountable to metrics and to your timelines. And don't beat yourself up if you don't meet them. Adjust your goals realistically to what you can accomplish. And the biggest thing you can possibly do, be consistent. You have to be consistent. The biggest indicator of success, 88% of extremely successful people, the only thing they had in common was consistency and perseverance. They kept doing it, they kept trying, even after the quote-unquote failure. It never gets easy. It only is hard. All the time. Once you accept that, you are at step one of being able to win. And lastly, and also very important, measure your improvement. This doesn't have to be technical ability on your instrument. There's many different ways you can measure improvement. It doesn't even have to necessarily be musically. Having visual data and confirmation of you making progress towards your goals is an extreme motivator. You're pursuing a music career strictly for yourself. Like any other vocation, do it for others. If you turn what you do into service for others as opposed to an ego trip, you will, 1, do a far better job. More people care about taking care of others than they do taking care of themselves, which is actually pretty unhealthy, but you have a higher likelihood of doing a better job because of it. 2, being more fulfilled. People who live life hedonistically and only do things for self-pleasure are never, ever satisfied. And there are never a shortage of people who could use your help. 3, you'll be more ethical. If you actually care about providing a service to people, you will make sure that you're being honest and treating them fairly. 4, with all those put together, you'll have return business. I can't think of a single business that was successful without return business. You have to have it. If you truly are improving people's lives and raising them up, you will have return business guaranteed. You don't think you can change the world? Newsflash, you already are, all the time, every moment of the day. People wonder why I get so pissed off with a bunch of the music stuff that I critique or talk about, or why I'm so hard on the Doors and Nirvana. And that's because music is really fucking important, man. In more than one way, and no, not just the fucking semantic message that's out there. I'm talking about the way the music hits your brain and the way that it affects you as a person on the most subconscious, carnal levels you can possibly think of. The music you give someone should help them be elevated. It shouldn't destroy them or have them slink into a cycle of despair. You should be helping them either by sympathy, empathy, or encouragement in some musical way. Or just raw entertainment, which in and of itself gives levity. My friend who's in a cover band didn't even realize that just by being a bassist in a cover band, he's still providing a great service to people. What seems to be just a small, minute role in the world. You're still changing the fucking world, man. It matters. It seriously does matter. Everything we do impacts the world. Even the small impacts still impact the world. A million small impacts make a giant fucking change. You matter, and how you interact with everyone and everything matters. And when you acknowledge that, that means you have to act responsibly. Make sure you leave the world in better shape than when you inherited it. Mike, or faux Adam Neely, you just did an entire video that had almost nothing to do with music whatsoever. How can this be considered a video about music? Because music starts to lose its importance completely unless you consider why and how. Sometimes you never find the answer to it. And by that, I mean almost all the times you never find the answer to it. But the chase of those two questions that can never be answered is really fucking important. If you follow everything I just talked about, I'm not going to guarantee you're going to be famous or rich, but I'm going to guarantee you're going to be a fucking great musician, and you're going to be fulfilled, and you will be happy. I promise you. And frankly, it's a lot more fucking important. This has been Mike, the fucking music guy. Peace the fuck out. Take it easy.